What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another fun-filled, kind of funny podcast for this week. I'm joined by, of course, the Nitro Rifle, Mr. Andy Cortez.
Good afternoon, Nick.
Afternoon, Andy.
And congrats on your weekend.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that, guys. We're going to talk all about that on this podcast today, along with a couple other fun topics that Joey and I have handpicked for all of you today. Of course, also joining us, Joey Noel. What's going on?
Well, you guys are doing Games Daily, or no, Gamescast. Nick's like, what if we did topics again? I was like, okay. So give me 15 minutes until the podcast starts.
It's just fun stuff to talk about. Of course, rounding out the quartet on this podcast is Roger Picorni.
You know, my
biggest fan.
I'm your biggest fan. My whole family's your biggest fan.
Wait, stop. What is happening?
I don't
Mike
know.
Get
no,
on
you're
the
not.
podcast.
You're not.
Just come
You're
on
not
the
involved.
set.
You're off screen.
Get a mic and come on the set.
He also has a coloring book.
You know, suddenly I feel like I want some energy drinks. I want some goldfish. You know, it feels like something's different about me right now. I don't know what's going on here, but
You feel like you could suddenly take on the world in the 3-point shooting contest?
yeah, maybe I think I know music now. I think I can sing a little bit.
What the fuck is Mike doing?
Mike isn't involved. I'm just being a part of the podcast. It's a vibe
That's
today.
not how podcast works. Sit in the set.
camera.
Yeah. You already
he's
got a
off camera.
beautiful
Come
set.
on.
I'm just here to talk.
He's producer today. He's
Just in
director.
case somebody brings up a fun topic I want to talk about. I want to join the
Yeah,
conversation.
exactly.
there, Kevin.
He's very non-committal.
Nick, I need you to be an adult and control the situation.
You know what, Kev?
I don't know
I
if
tried
that's
as much
the
as
right
possible. There's a
person.
lot going on right now.
Going
Roger's
on.
sitting in, for audio listeners, Roger's sitting in Andy's chair. And before
He doesn't like
we
that.
started,
It doesn't
I said,
feel, it doesn't
hey,
feel bad.
You are
know-
a middle guy.
you used to be a metal guy.
You're
Hey,
a really
listen.
good middle guy.
I'm middle guy on in review. You
Why
know?
don't you just be the middle guy across the board? Why
Yeah.
you got to
Well,
be the edge
because
guy?
because that's my better side. That's where my face looks better from the over
I think
there.
you look fantastic from
Yeah.
that on.
No, if I'm being filmed from this angle, that's where I feel most comfortable. From the other angle, I don't like the way my hair looks. I don't like the way my nose looks because that's where it's more evident that my nose is
So
broken.
wait, which angle do you like least? The one that I'm sitting
right
in?
angle? If the I don't like a camera on my right side.
So you want this is your Phantom of the Opera side.
Yes.
You wanted that away from the camera. You want the mask
Yes.
to be on this
Nose
side.
is broken, so from this angle,
You know that you
nose
have a
looks
broken
cool.
nose? Okay, just making
From
sure.
this angle, nose curls in.
I'm sorry, Kevin. Can we please get a close up on
When
Andy
did the
real quick? Can we
nose
go back
break?
to the close-up?
Yeah.
Broke my
I would
nose
also-
in Little League baseball.
Can you give me a
Never got it
profile,
fixed.
Andy, of yourself right now? Just go to the right. That's a nice looking nose.
That's like too
Yeah, you
far.
look
No,
fantastic.
okay, but from this angle, it looked. I don't mind the way it looks at all. Right, from the other angle, at a 3/4 view, it
Do we have it?
noticeably
Yeah, can we
curls
see
the
that?
other way.
Yeah, do we have
Let me
another
see.
angle?
I
Can
can
we
get
go
in
the other way?
Joey's camera.
No, he was just that's why I was showing this.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah, look at that.
No, go,
No.
turn your
I
head all the way to
know,
the
I'm
left. All
lying,
the way to the
guys. I'm lying. His nose is the exact same from the
You have
other
a great
side.
nose.
No, but no. Okay,
It's one of those things that
it's not
probably
the profile.
only you
Oh, you
really
mean
notice.
You mean it
It's a
kind of goes
3/4.
this way a little
It's
bit.
a 3/4 view.
Oh, interesting.
A 3/4
Very,
view.
a lot of specifics here. So,
you notice the curve.
but none of those camera angles. We don't have any of those. We don't have that camera angle
Well,
anywhere here.
if I
it doesn't affect anything.
when I'm
He's like from the top down.
when I'm
My nose.
When we do the sky cam, it really
Not
fucks with me.
right.
when I'm on interview, it does look that way.
Okay.
Of course.
When I'm on interview, you have the curve, you know.
Yeah.
Ladies and
Captain
gentlemen,
Hook.
of course, this is the Kind of Funny podcast where each and every week 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table or the subwoofer on the other side of the studio, as Mike is doing right now.
What up?
Each bringing fun topics for your amusement today. We've got a lot of fun stuff to talk about, but before
Why is he reading a magazine?
he's reading
know.
the
It's not a
strategy guide for
magazine.
Pokemon.
I'm learning how to finish Pokemon.
Why are we allowing this? Why are we allowing this?
We're having fun,
This is
ladies and
what
gentlemen. Of
happens when
course,
Greg and
a
Tim are
couple
gone.
housekeeping things before we
Yeah,
get
let
into
us
the
know.
topics of the show. Friday, the Elder Scrolls podcast, Kind of Funny Gamescast Limited Series is back with episode 2. We've got, this is awesome. If you guys haven't been listening to this is an amazing deep dive that Greg has done. Probably the deepest dive Greg's ever done in his career, all on your Gamecast feeds and Bethesda's YouTube channel. So please, guys, go over and check that out. Tell a friend, tweet it. Do everything you possibly can. Leave some comments on it.
If you're also just a fan of like video game documentaries
Yes.
or just hearing about the
Inside
process, I think it's
baseball.
really cool and fascinating.
Really cool. This is an awesome project that we've been able to do this year, which is awesome for Greg. Of course, shout out to our Patreon producers, James Hastings, Casey Andrew, Carl Jacobs, and Omega Buster. Today, we are brought to you by Imperial and Aura Frames, but we'll talk about that a little bit later.
And before we get into what we were going to talk about, can you bring up the video that I sent to Assets, Kevin?
Oh.
Sent through a
Andy
video.
got his own topics today. I
It's
like
not
that.
even a topic. It's just
I got a topic too.
it just feels
Before we get to the
very familiar.
Okay.
So
Oh, I can't wait.
please
We'll start with Andy's topic today.
yeah, bring the video up if you can. This is from my favorite podcast, the Dan Le Batard Show.
Great show.
And
Started listening
is that
to
Dan Le Batard right there?
Retrospective, the history.
oh,
one.
you started listening to the oral history of
yeah,
them.
I'm like on episode 3.
Yeah, nice. So go ahead and play this, Kev.
polls that we are going to update. Chris, please find me the sound of you stumbling through your words to celebrate each poll. Tony, why are you laughing at Chris Cody just shouting "fuck" as Roy? Like, why? Explain to me.
It's a fun game watching Chris trying to find.
Because he's got a lot of plates being spun, man.
He's got a heavy
And
tongue.
I'm eating lunch.
He's got a heavy tongue. Like he's in the middle of just shoving food in his face instead of being the executive producer.
You want one sound, another sound comes out.
I just need him to run the show and not be shoving food in his face. Fat Chris Cody eating sausage.
I don't know who this son of a bitch is insulting, and I don't like it.
This episode's going to be called Everyone's Got a Kevin.
Dude, that I was dying of laughter. I had to send it to everybody.
It's just how it goes, man. This is just how it works when you do this shit every day, right? You just have to get it where you get in where you fit it, you know? That's so fucking funny.
But it also reminded me of one of our recent streams when Nick said,
When you guys were throwing shit at me.
when
Oh,
Nick-
this when
throwing
Anko
shit
was
at me.
here?
yeah, when Chris
Yeah.
Anko was here for our Warzone
It was
stream, and
Mike.
Nick said, "Yeah, we don't really eat food on the podcast anymore, or on mic anymore." And then Mike said, "Yeah, it's because you wouldn't stop eating goldfish." But it's just always,
You know how it is? Look, it's like this. It's like you hear other people do it and you go, oh, I recognize that we shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
But then in the moment, you're like, I'm so
so
hungry right
hungry.
now. I'm so hungry.
And then someone else does it, and they're like, "Oh, your mouth is so much wetter than Andy's mouth."
That was said.
during the Pokemon stream,
The first of the
Kevin
second
taking a
stream.
bite and Nick going, "Man, that sounded real wet."
What was it that he was eating? 'Cause
I
you
don't know,
ate
but
the same
I
thing.
ate the same thing, and Kevin was like, "He ate it. You didn't say anything about his." He was like, "Yeah, but yours sounded
It sounded
really, really wet."
so moist.
But Kevin, like this isn't just. We're all guilty of this.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know who you're calling out on this because it's definitely Nick. It's
it could be
definitely me.
It's true. I
it.
jumped to
That's-
Kevin
Yeah.
because of the ice, because of the big ice joke that he
yeah.
has. But it's there.
Yeah,
it is right
exactly.
there. But like
Maracas.
because for Kevin, from our perspective, every once in a while we'll be on the podcast and we'll hear something come through the mics that sounds like the Predator or something crazy
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on, and we don't know what's happening, so we laugh about it. But it's true. Like I am the worst offender on this because of this right here.
Nick is awful.
Because of this right here.
No, it's not just that. It's,
No, it's
It's
the
the
goldfish.
There's always a snack.
Well, also during our Cine 2 Nerdle streams, I rewatched, I think, the one on the big set that we did, and it was unlistenable because it's just you and me eating corn chips into the microphone.
Don't I call that out at
Yeah,
some
you
point
do,
of like,
and then we
stop?
just ignore it 'cause we're
And you
so
guys are like,
hungry.
"Fuck you, we know better.
You and
We know
me
better."
are just locked in,
look,
eating
look.
so much
All right,
chips
we're-
right into the
this
microphone.
is why we
We're
can't have
unpacking.
parties at the studio.
hold on.
We
Hold on.
cannot have
Hold
parties
on.
at the studio because snacks end up here.
Hold on. No. Let me get this out first. Because our streams, whenever we play games, will happen around 12:30, right? 12:15.
Lunch an hour.
There's a whole 2 hours that Nick could have eaten anything.
His keto starts then.
It's like he's on schedule, Roger, where
Yeah.
when the stream
Because he
starts,
literally is. He's
he walks in
intermittent
with a
fasting.
bowl of
Legitimately.
something. And it's like, do you have to? You could have eaten.
Yeah, but
before
also,
we-
Andy, 3 minutes before the stream starts, it's like, "All right, should we get in our spots?" And like, "Yeah, I'm gonna just go use the bathroom." He was here sitting there for 45 minutes.
Now here's my perspective. I walk over to Joey at 11:45, and I said, "Joey, I'd love to do some topics for the show today." She goes, "Well, you only give me 15 minutes to do this topic," and I go, "Am I giving you 15 minutes or an hour?" Because the show before this never ends at noon. It ends
That's
at
the
12:15
real-
sometimes. Sometimes it ends at 12:30. Sometimes it's 12:45. And there's a huge fucking difference between eating something at 11:45 and eating something at
And let me tell
12:45
you-
when you're fasting in the morning.
If you eat something at 11, let's say a burrito,
both of the eating
Nick-
offenders here.
Nick will just be like, "You eat a burrito at 10:45?" It's like, "Yeah, Nick, because in 15 minutes we're gonna start streaming and I won't be done till 3:55."
I love that Nick and Kevin are forced to be on each other's side for this.
Kevin hates it, but it's true. It's always it's very confusing, and that you go like, okay, I'm ready. You get ready. You go, get ready.
The
You see
audience
someone do
knows,
it,
they
and then the
feel it
fucking
too.
Wii News thing hits. You're like, oh, we're still doing that thing.
Yeah.
How long is that going to
Wii
be?
News.
It is hard to plan a little bit, but
It's a little difficult to time your meals out,
Yeah.
especially since
Mostly
I'm
just
trying
with
desperately
Starbucks.
not to just like, we have fun in this office.
Mm.
And Roger's right. There's snacks that get passed around. here
Yeah.
as well. Sometimes people bring like baklava or some shit in.
Yeah,
You're like,
Greg
what the
brought a
fuck?
cake last week.
Oh, yeah.
Greg brought a bunt cake.
Oh yeah, and I was just going back and I was just taking little
Just
slices.
slicing that up. So
Just
I'm
little
so
slices.
desperately trying to like be a little more healthy and not give into that stuff, especially when the days are going longer. We got the Pokemon stream that we're
Yeah.
trying to finish up this week, which is going to be
You do
amazing.
comedy
ladies
at
and
night too.
The
so
liquor
like,
store
comedy
across
night.
the street. Mike's got to visit Charlie like 7
The
times
liquor
a
store
day.
across the street that may or may not be selling illegal vapes. We don't know. We don't sell any. We don't talk about that. We're not snitching on these
no,
guys.
we wouldn't.
So yeah, I recognize that my eating habits are awkward. They're odd.
But I
also,
get it.
you
You're
don't have
doing
to
the
call-
morning fasting.
Yeah.
My favorite thing, one of my favorite things, is snacking on something at my desk while I'm working.
Is it like the opened Reese's? You left on your desk for days? That
yeah,
Nick and I had
yeah, yeah.
multiple
We had a-
It
conversations
was
Yeah.
one day. I ate it the next day.
This is we're just shitting on each other.
It was one day. It was one day.
Holy shit!
And I
Can I
did
take a
it.
picture
Andy,
of
I've
this?
never heard
Did
you
you take
make
a
that
picture
noise.
of this?
I didn't take a picture of
Andy
it.
has these massive
Mike was
Reese's
there.
peanut butter cups that he gets.
Well, these are the brand new ones.
These are like PB and J.
Okay,
So
this-
this is a brand new limited thing.
This is the Aaron Grievance episode.
Andy,
You
I
guys-
try to defend you,
we-
but like at the same
Thank you,
time,
Mike.
they got you. They got
Thank
your ass.
you, Mike.
I wish I had taken a picture of this because
Yeah.
Andy has these king size. They're the size of a fucking fist. Reese's
could
peanut
hurt
butter
somebody
cups.
if you do it to
You could
somebody.
throw someone and
Yeah.
take someone's eye out easy with this, right?
If I threw one at Greg's son Ben, there may be permanent damage.
That's it.
Yeah.
That kid's not going to be right ever again.
More or less permanent damage than when Roger threw
Roger
the football at him.
Roger hit that kid with a
hardest
football. That was
throwing
Roger,
crazy,
sorry,
Roger.
this is
Roger's
everybody's
throwing
on
one
blast
football
this
in his
episode.
life, and he gave Greg's kid brain damage. Okay, such a hard
you know,
football.
who's to say the kid isn't better for it now? You know?
You're right.
He
He might be
rattled
a little
some
more
shit,
impulsive
but
now.
he's better now. You know what I mean?
Well, Greg probably has some brain damage too. But I'll tell you this. I walk by Andy's desk, and Andy's like, I'll see you guys later. And I look over, and I see one Reese's peanut butter cup left. But it's not like he opened the package with the intent to store the second Reese's peanut butter cup. It was ripped open like a Wolverine
Just
attack.
haphazard.
Haphazard. And the second cup was just exposed to the outside air.
It was open with the intention to eat it at the moment, and then
Yes.
I decided not right now.
Not going to do it. But you
So
didn't
just
cover it back
left
up.
It open.
You just
on
raw
your
dogged it.
desk.
I ate it the next day.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
like,
that's
don't
okay.
you worry about like ants
It was a
or
Friday.
anything?
It was a Friday.
He came in on a Saturday.
I think it was Thursday.
Okay.
It was.
so you
I
came
ate
in
it
on
the
Friday
next
and ate
day
it.
because as I was eating it, I was like, "This is out here a whole day."
I think I taste the air. Ooh.
I think you
Fresh.
gave one to me too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
How many did you get?
we
Was
shared
that
some of
out
the
all
other one.
day?
No.
No,
He
no,
opened
that
up in
one
front of
wasn't.
us.
I would have
But
been fine with it.
The thing that I was going to bring up that I love,
Ants don't work Fridays.
the thing that I loved, that I was going to
have
mention that I
ants,
love is
though.
when I'm snacking on something,
Mm-hmm.
I see the little fucking dog that walks up to you when you want food. You know how Cole will only
Yes.
walk up to
Oh,
you
yeah.
in the office if you have food?
Yeah.
But I see the little dog next to me with a mustache and a fucking receding hairline.
It can go either way. It really can go
I'm
either
not
way.
sure where we're at yet. 90% me, but it could be you.
We're looking at each other.
It could be you.
We're equidistant.
Yeah.
I was just trying to come up with Nick features that like differentiated themselves from Mike because Mike's hair is like proceeding, if anything.
Mike's got more hair than he needs
Yeah.
right now. He could give me a couple.
Yeah,
Give
and
me
so-
a couple follicles, Mike.
But I got my headphones in, I'm snacking on something, and I just see a face, and I
over there?
do my best to ignore it.
Yeah.
yeah.
And if I do happen to glance, it's just this. It's this.
I don't like that the tongue thing is so accurate.
It's the mouth and it's the eyes.
Yeah.
Like, what do you got there? But also, I don't care what you have there. I want some of it. You know?
Yeah.
And it's just this goddamn.
Asking what it is just being polite.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever I'm snacking on, that is always gonna
I
happen.
don't know if you understand how badly me and Mike just want to be a part of your world.
A lot of unaccounted for hours.
This is
A lot
not
of
unique with
unaccounted for
Andy,
hours.
though.
Let me be part of your life.
God, Andy, you nailed that. He did it right after. You nailed it.
Oh my God.
Andy has 2 dogs inside him, Nick and Mike.
Oh man.
I just want to say I don't understand why I get so much shit when I look over. I'm like, so whose wings are these? Whose wings?
Yeah,
whose wing
those
stuff
also,
are
didn't we
these?
establish that those were 2-day-old wings or
Yes.
day-old wings?
Wait, hold on. It was corn on the cob and French fries.
Oh, okay.
And
it's better.
you know it was 2-day-old because you ate the French
I
fries.
ate one French fry, but also it could have been borderline, right? You know, sometimes those fries they're the same a day later as they are 12 hours later.
And
you know what
I
mean?
ate the
You
corn.
Never know.
You got so much shit, Kevin, because
You asked everyone in the office.
Every
single
I
person
asked
that walked by
you,
you.
Nick. I asked you,
You walk
Nick.
up to my
and
brother
then
and everyone, hey, is this your wings? What's going on?
Did you not also
I heard
ask
that
in the
question be floated
production
3
meeting?
times. No fewer than 3 times.
It was 2 times and one just to Nick. Like,
Because the first time
And
I-
then the other one was in the production meeting.
Yeah,
to
where I was like,
everyone.
and no one, and everyone just laughed, and not a single person said me. Turned out they were cool, Gregs.
I would have loved
we
it
were
if
talking about schedules.
Joe. I would have
Yeah,
loved it
but
if
it
it was
was
in the
before
anonymous notes feedback
Oh, we do have one piece of feedback today, and it's from Anonymous.
I had gone all day without eating. I was so hungry.
But the reason that I laughed so much is because I heard you asking Nick and going, anybody knows what's up with these wings? Whose wings are these? What's up with these wings going on?
Wasn't
And
the
then
wings, though.
about 20 minutes later, him walking up to me, you know what's up with these wings?
So
It's just like,
I hate to align myself, but I have to.
Yeah.
Because I am exactly like both you, Nick, and Kevin, but I just don't say it outwardly, right? Like I'm looking at Andy's food, but I'm not doing the tongue thing. I'm just looking at it, just kind of hoping that I'm the polite dog,
First
right?
off-
Hoping
Yeah,
that
first
somebody's
off-
like,
You're doing
hey,
the tricks, hoping to get
exactly.
the
And
treat.
guess what? I walked past the fucking Wingstop, and every single time I opened it up, looked at it, I took a fry. I'm like, that's an old fry. But I'm like, I'm not gonna ask about anything, and I walk away, right?
Was the Wingstop on the communal table?
No, that was the
Okay.
issue. It was
That would've
by
been
the
so
toaster
easy,
oven.
Joe.
It was
That
on the
would've been
toaster,
so
so it's like
easy.
a borderline. That's a no man's area. We don't know what's
Yeah.
going on. Nick.
Yeah, first off, I take offense to the fact that you started that sentence off with, I don't mean to align myself with ...
I'm
And what
sorry,
you
it's
mean
true.
is me and Kevin.
That's a
And I
good
speak
call,
for
that's a
Kevin. I
good
say
call.
fuck you when I say that, okay?
Listen, I'm
That's
either in or
messed up.
out, but like I can't.
Having said that, I'm with you. If it's on the communal table, that's where it's like I'm gonna graze. If I feel like grazing, there's some grazing happening. But it was placed so precariously right by the microwave that I was like, this is someone's lunch.
And it was wrapped up too.
And it was like kind of
closed.
wrapped up.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, obviously this is someone's lunch that is they're going to eat again. Like usually, I think we have the unwritten rule, which I guess we can probably make. We can take a vote now.
we can make it a written rule.
We can
Yeah,
make a
right
written
now.
rule
We
that
have
if the
6
food's left
out
out
of
there,
the 11 people in the company.
That's good. That's a
we have
majority.
a quorum.
area.
We have a proper rule that is, if it is left on the
think-
side of the big table,
Yes.
by the sink, that's good for taking.
I agree with that.
That's
I don't know
where
that
I
we ever
put.
I don't think
officially
that's a-
ratified
No,
that
yeah,
rule.
we have. We
Greg
have
Miller ratified that law.
We
Yeah,
have
but
absolute-
Greg's a psychopath, and if I'm not
It's
involved
our
in this, it
CEO.
never gets put in the
He's
official.
not doing it with a 51% majority, though, you know? Barrett just walked in. We've got full majority now.
Let's get this vote going.
Let's get it going.
I'd like to ratify that. Those
Motion
in favor
to
say
approve.
motion to approve. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
For what? What are we
Aye.
approving?
We're
doesn't matter.
ratifying that if you
Open bathroom policy.
if you get up from your chair and leave food on that side, I can legally eat it.
If you leave, okay, if there's food left on the dining room table on the left side, and it's open up,
Near
it's,
Wait,
it's
but
for
that's-
everybody. It's for everybody.
Communal.
On the
communal
left
food.
side.
Yeah,
What do
why
you-
not the right side?
Kevin
No.
said something about a sink. What do you?
Near
It's
closest,
nearest the
closest
sink.
to
the
thing.
nearest the sink, because
Oh.
left and rights are confusing. And if I
'cause
tell you it's
because
east
we
side
know
of
the right
table,
side is for merch that we get sent.
yes,
The left side is for food.
The
we
right
get-
side is where Kevin and I have to look at every single freaking day for a month until we finally go, we're just going to throw this shit out.
Can
This
we get
works.
some
That's
tape down? Can we get some guidelines?
No.
Because the positioning here could be very flexible. We don't.
It's on the east side of the table, Andy.
I would say closest to the sink, or if it's on the
In
edge
or
of your desk, closest to me. I get to eat it. I wanted that
is
peanut butter cup
precarious.
so bad. Because it had like some sort of jelly coming out
Yeah.
of it. or
It's a
something.
Nick,
Fuck.
I
Oh,
ate
Barrett-
it.
Barrett-
It
Barrett
was
has his
so
answer here.
good.
Dude, it looks so
Also,
good.
it was
It's
strong.
kind
Kind
of
of clear
jelly.
of like what someone's lunch versus what someone brought in.
Well, clearly,
For the
and
office.
Blessing's a perfect example.
Yes, blessing.
He
is
does it on
blessing.
purpose.
He
Comes
fucks
in
up.
with a bunch of extra food that he doesn't need,
Okay.
and then he sits there and eats the majority of it,
Yeah.
and then takes the rest of it and throws it out.
Mm.
That's fucked
He
up.
never leaves anything for me.
Well, here's the thing.
He doesn't think about me.
He doesn't think about me or
Or my
Mike.
feelings.
Well,
He's never thinking about me and Mike.
Here's the
Never
thing.
thinking about me.
I've gotten in with Blessing with this, where now Blessing knows me as the fry guy. Where anytime he gets fries that he doesn't want,
like
he
this.
looks at me and says, "Hey, Roger, you want those fries?" And I bogard the fries, and then I throw out the rest I don't want to eat. You know what I mean? So I've had the exclusive. We have an exclusive agreement right here. I'm first party.
Mike
here.
I'm
disapproves.
not okay with that.
Your first rider for
You
people?
talk so much
second
trash to me when I try to get you involved in my lunch, but you over here openly
No, because
taking
okay, well, no.
Blessing's
Here's the
lunch.
thing
I'm
about
not
Mike.
okay with
No,
that.
here's the thing about Mike is that Mike the other day. No,
Mike is standing up like we're at a town hall, and he's an angry mom.
Mike 2 weeks ago did the funniest Mike thing I've ever heard in my life. Is that he orders a chicken quesadilla from Chipotle, and then without me saying anything, he's like, "Hey, Roger, you're splitting this with me." And I'm like,
This is
"All
a
right."
classic
I'm
Mike.
like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." Like, yeah, I'll have a bite. He orders it, and then I run a show. I come back from the show. I'm like, "Hey, man, can I have a half of that chicken quesadilla?" "Oh, man, I ate it." And then
Fucking.
2 weeks later, the exact same thing. I come back, but hey man, let me get a slice of that. Nah, I already ate it. So it's like, why are you offering? Why are
He's
you
not there, Nick,
You
in the
want me?
moment.
You
You
want
gotta
me
be
to
there
be
in the moment.
included, but
In
you're
the
eating your
moment.
entire lunch. This is
Mike
your
lives
lunch.
his life a
understand.
quarter mile at a time.
Exactly. I'm a snowball. Once the snowball goes down the hill, I can't
If
stop.
you're not in the
Oh,
present, you know, you don't get the present.
at the table, man.
And also, Mike was uptight this morning, and I think I know why.
Yeah,
right?
I need Roger. I need you to
Why was
sort
I
of.
uptight?
I need
Okay,
you
so
to,
Mike was uptight this morning. I'm not gonna betray your trust at all, right? But you were just a little uptight, right? And I could just feel the vibes, and I think I know why. Because I walked into the studio.
Oh
Mike
my
is a giver,
God.
right? Mike
Is
He's so mad. He's so hot.
Shut up! Shut up!
Get on the set.
Shut up!
Get
Shut
on
up!
the set.
Shut up!
Stop making Kevin cut to the wide.
Mike is a giver, right? You know, he just gives out things
Chaperone,
without
you know?
without anybody even saying
Most
anything, right?
things you don't want.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I don't even want this stuff.
Yeah.
I would come to the
Friendship,
office and be like,
yeah.
"Hey man, how you doing?" He gives me the biggest, scariest bear hug, right? Where it's like a really tight one, where it's like,
Well, he wasn't here on Friday.
yeah,
He didn't
but
see you.
yeah, he's just like, "I miss you so
Embracing
much.
you.
I love you so much." He gives me so tight, right? He goes, "Hey man, I got you this bagel from Starbucks," and I'm like, "Okay, cool." And I'm starting eating the bagel,
That's not
and then I
what
can tell
happened.
he's like more uptight than usual afterwards.
Yeah, he wanted
And
that
then I
bagel.
brought back, and I'm like, "Oh." He ordered this bagel because he wanted to have it later,
Yep.
but then he just, for no reason, gave
Yep,
it to me,
yep.
and then now
No,
he's
no.
uptight.
That's not. I was uptight, Nick, because he's banging doors. Okay, Nick. Let me just start
banging
off
doors?
with the day.
Why are you banging
there I
doors?
am. I'm working. I'm hustling. I'm getting games daily together. Who comes in? Stumbling Roger. Bang, bang, bang. Gets every door. He's got keys.
Why are you
It's like,
distracting him right
Can
now?
you walk into Sanctuary and calm the fuck down?
Yeah.
Like you of all people, the quietest. We're about me and Andy are about to do Gamescast, and I just hear, "Hey, what up, Slappy? What you doing?" Like across the entire office to Nick. You guys are right.
Roger was
Why
like,
is
he's
he
so
on the
fucking loud.
So loud, the loudest human in the world.
And not only that, but he used to be right by the door. Then he moved all the way across the office,
No.
the furthest desk possible from the
Come to
door.
the mic, come to
And
the
so
mic,
when he
guys.
screams, he has to
He's
be
on
just a
the
little
floor,
bit
Kevin.
louder. He has to be just a little bit louder. Homie, what's up, dog? I missed you.
What's going on with the weekend?
We're airing.
We're
I got
airing
more too. I got a
grievances.
lot to air.
We got a lot of good.
The funniest, one of the funniest things that we didn't really get to talk about, but it was a Mike being uptight sort of thing.
Oh my God.
Was when Gary Whitta got here too early for the Gamescast. Mike is wheeze laughing
Top
like
5
you've never
moments
heard.
of Mike. Still Mike.
Gary would have got here too early for a Gamescast, right?
What is too early?
It was like a misscheduling thing. Where
Misscheduling.
I think he was
He thought it was
he
at 10
misread. He
or there was
misread
something
it.
flipped
He
or
thought that
something.
he was part of Games Daily. He was supposed to be part of Gamescast.
Got it. Okay.
I believe that's
So
what
he
happened.
got here like at 9. Games Daily is at 10, or Gamescast
Is
or-
at 11.
Sorry, Games Daily at 10, Gamescast at 11, right?
Yeah. So he comes in at
he's
9:45.
here too-
Oh, 9:45.
He's here
okay.
too early. Bless is doing Games Daily with Mike. And Mike says,
I forgot about this.
Gary, get on Games Daily with us.
And then without talking to Blessing, because Blessing is trying to keep the. We had a very important Gamescast or something like that. Like we were trying to get on
We
schedule.
very timed.
And you know Gary, it's gonna be a longer episode,
Yeah.
right?
He's a
3 of them.
rambler.
We don't usually do three ways.
Yeah, we rarely do a 3-person Games Daily, right? And,
get it.
and so Mike feels like he needs to invite Gary on the Games Daily with him and Blessing. Like he kind of feels like I'm obligated since he's here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Give him a
You can't
spot.
just let Gary waste
Get
an
him on.
hour of his
Yeah.
time.
Give him the spot, right?
Give him on. Get him on.
Yeah. And then, but then Blessing's like, well, I'd rather just have 2 people. Like, I don't want 3 people necessarily.
It's not a 3-person
so,
show.
So I think Mike says, like, Gary, then take my spot.
Yeah.
And then you'll do Gamescast as well.
Then tell him what happens. Then tell him what happens.
Well, then I think you, like, all I remember is Mike going, yeah, I should have done that. I was a little too uptight there. And he said,
Immediately.
and he says, well, what's Gary going to do? Just sit around and wait for Gamescast? I was like, well, yeah, that is what. And he goes, well, I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
And he got like uptight. I think mainly at yourself, right, Mike?
Well, yeah, because I wanted to be on Games Daily.
Yeah, he wanted to be on Games Daily, but
Daily.
then Witta took his spot because he's the one who volunteered him to take his spot.
So Witta came in.
He was
Let me get
so
this
mad.
straight. Witta came in, a scheduling mistake. Did what Gary would assume Gary would normally do, which was to sit in that one chair that he likes,
Yeah.
and drink
Look at his
whatever
phone.
Juvie or
energy
other
drink.
energy
Like,
drink we
don't
still
you
have
think he
here.
gives you like a judgy look when he sits in that chair?
Well,
like
Gary
he's
always
he's
does
looking
that.
at us-
Default
he's
look is
looking at us and
judgy.
he's
That's just what he
judgy,
looks.
you
He
know,
has
like,
resting
I don't
judge
want
face.
us to feel judged.
You wouldn't be here. You would be on set
I
doing
think
hosting
Gary
the
is
show.
fine to sit on his phone in silence.
Gary has a lot of shit going on. I'm sure he had a call with his agent or something like that he
Or
had to
just
go
wants
into.
a moment of peace.
He
you
did
know?
feel really embarrassed because he was very much like, what the fuck? You guys texted me, said be here at 10. And then he looked at his text 2 minutes later. He's like, oh no, he said be here at 11.
But it was just funny hearing Mike go, yeah, I fucked up. I got uptight. I don't know why I did that. And it was
It
just
happens,
like, it was a
Mike.
moment
I
of
wanted to be on
self-reflection.
it.
It
I
comes
didn't
from
like
love.
it.
It comes from love.
Yeah.
But let's going back to, and again, we're almost finished with Mike, and then we'll start on Roger.
Okay, yeah, because I got one for Roger.
Yeah, we got
I gotta
something.
get
But
out
going
for
back to
Roger.
I got some for
this-
Andy too.
This
I gotta
is
go
Mike
back.
in this is why I love Mike, right? The bagel. Can we talk
Bagel.
about the bagel?
The
yeah.
bagel.
Okay.
So uptight.
Because what happened was
The bagel
Mike-
was this morning?
Yeah.
Mike
Okay.
definitely got that bagel for himself.
Yeah, there's no reason why he would.
And then he
get
saw
for
you
somebody
and
else.
there's so many. I think I know Mike at this point, and Mike's like a speaks like a language that's like circular. Remember Arrival, where the
Oh,
language
yeah,
is
they
like
speak-
circular, and they
yeah,
have to like
yeah.
decode it, and it doesn't make a lot of
The
sense.
first
if you-
of their sentence means the
yeah,
beginning,
the beginning, and
end,
it's
or
all
whatever.
just
Yeah.
so that's kind of Mike, right? So I can see that there's 2 different things that he was thinking at that moment. Mike's like, hey, I don't need this bagel. I probably shouldn't have this bagel, but I want this bagel. But I also want Roger to like me, and I want Roger to be happy because Mike's a giver.
Yes.
So he gave you the bagel, and the second it left his hand, he was super pissed off that he didn't get to eat that bagel. Is that close, Mike? Is that close? He saw the happiness in your face, Roger,
And then was
it
immediately
didn't-
jealous.
It didn't supersede how much he wanted that bagel.
He didn't.
and he got pissed off at you.
He was doing it as a service, but he didn't expect me to say yes.
Yeah,
he
you
thought
should've
that
said
I
no.
was gonna be like, oh, I already have breakfast.
He
Don't
says
worry
no
about
to
it.
me 99% of the time. This is the one time he finally said yes.
This is the
Yeah.
one time
Yeah.
that I was like, you know what, a bagel does sound nice, Mike. I haven't had a Starbucks bagel ever. Let me have that one. Thank
And
you so much.
I didn't bring any chewy cookies for you, Mike. They're out.
Can we
I
talk?
bought out the
I'll
socks.
save that. I think Andy's trying to get me fat. I think he's trying to get me fatter. Okay, we got to talk about this. Andy coming in every day, looking better and better. He looks phenomenal.
Oh, look at
okay, he's
him.
getting healthy, but he's
He's
coming
svelte.
in. Here's a cookie. Here's a
I eat the cookies
Give me
too.
2 cookies a day. Look at this.
I eat the cookies too.
Mike, how many times do you go to In-N-Out a day?
I don't think it's the singular cookie that Andy brings.
Remember when he thought it was the
But I
couch?
appreciate that you love me.
I bring the cookies. I know Mike likes a sweet treat, and they're also on clearance at the store.
Oh, okay, that's the most important part.
You're so
budget
my mom.
treat.
Why are
I
you
love
my
you.
mom?
Well, it's because it was just such a tempting purchase, Nick. Because I go to that corner
How
store a
many
lot.
of these cookies have you bought?
I've bought at least like 13 by this point. probably.
13.
How much are they in the clearance for?
I've bought about 13 over a span of maybe about a month.
$1.20,
So I bought like
$2.
4 every now. They're $2.
That's too expensive.
But
for a cookie.
they're the big ass Chips Ahoy
It's too expensive
chewy.
for a cookie. One cookie?
And
Sure.
it's one cookie, but
That's too
they're
expensive.
big ass things. They're big ass things, and they're on clearance.
They're on clearance.
It feels good about it. And so I also bought some whitening toothpaste, the
That's nice.
Sensodyne.
Okay.
Or you
Um,
didn't get the Italian toothpaste that Mike gets?
No,
Yeah,
I don't get
you
the
will.
purple
I'll send
Italian.
it over to your house.
No, thank you. But I buy the cookies, and I buy like
tariffs.
4 or 5 at a time, and I eat one, and I give one to Mike.
No, wait. Mike just said tariffs. Like, we gotta unpack that. Like, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
He's like, wait, you stock up on the Italian toothpaste?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it just costs more
my
money
price
now.
is gonna go up. I didn't
yeah,
You got to stock
unfortunate.
up on it.
tariffs.
You got to buy them now.
It's Italian.
Got to get the tariffs.
You got to buy in now, Mike.
Yeah.
But
You
yeah,
got
I've just
90
been-
days.
I'm not trying to get you fat. I'm just like, Mike likes a cookie. I'm going to give him a cookie. And also, I don't want to
God
eat all of
forbid
them.
Andy extends friendship.
I
to
love,
Mike.
I love a cookie. He knows when he walks in, he throws me a cookie. I go, I'm gonna eat this cookie right now.
I
I'm gonna
love it.
this
I
cookie.
eat it too. I eat the cookie.
But like,
too.
am I secretly jealous that he looks so good and I'm just getting rounder by the day? Yes, I'm getting uptight
So now
about it. You know what I
he's
mean?
mad
I'm
at
holding it
you
in.
for thinking of him.
I mean, isn't that kind of what happened with me too? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I start working out. I go to go get a Yaris. He gets upset about
I'll
that.
fuck
you
it.
know
I'm
what I mean?
gonna destroy that
Fucking
yard.
Yaris.
Yeah. He loved. Mike likes being needed. Okay.
Yes,
Unless
yes,
it's-
yes, yes.
He likes being needed. He likes being able to
Does
provide
he like
a utility.
being needed, or does he like being wanted?
I would say.
Because I feel like the need, you get a little
great question.
like that's too much.
I think the
then
need.
he-
I think the want has to come with a need.
But you can't want him too much.
Like
because then
well, it's
he'll
gotta be on my
ignore-
schedule.
I'll
because
just
then he'll
say this.
ignore your text.
That was a breakthrough
on my
moment. What he just
schedule,
said.
my
What do you say?
schedule.
Self-report.
It's got to be on his schedule. Is that
Of course.
That is a breakthrough
100%.
moment. That was the quiet part out loud.
We're
that was
learning.
great.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
But what and I'll agree
Keep that
with you
up.
because what I've learned with Mike is if you want to spend time with Mike, it has to fit into his schedule, his
Yes.
trees, right? It has to be something a utility he can provide for you, so he feels like he's being productive and like useful for you. And then it also has to get him some sort of sugary snack.
Yeah.
That's kind of the thing.
demon has
So
to come
every
out.
morning I come in and if I want to spend a couple minutes with Mike,
It's
I'll go,
Starbucks.
let's go to Starbucks.
Yeah, I
you can
see
take,
that.
Hey Mike, can you take me to Starbucks?
Oh!
And he goes, absolutely, Slappy, I can take you to Starbucks. And then I go, hey Mike, what are you doing this weekend? I go, I'm literally at one of the best clubs on the planet all weekend. And he goes, Slappy, I can't be bothered.
Yeah. I can't be
I can't
bothered.
be bothered. I got other
Can't
stuff I
do
gotta
that.
Yeah, one thing I loved was this morning, we were chatting about what I streamed over the weekend, and then he said, and I was like, well, and then I ended up playing another game like that's for embargo, and I was watching a lot of stuff, and Mike goes, a lot of unaccounted for hours, Andy.
Yep.
And I said, well, where the fuck were you this week? And he says, I pieced the fuck out. So he went to Tahoe.
So not
he was-
even
he was at a blast in
available.
Tahoe.
I was out there, man.
And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to catch up with Mike about his Tahoe trip in just a second. But before that, we're going to have a word from our sponsors.
This episode's brought to you by Imperial. We've told you all how important it is to developers to wishlist games you're interested in on Steam. So if this game sounds cool to you, make sure that you wishlist it. In Imperial, you play as a mercenary sent to a distant planet to discover the mysteries of an ancient civilization. Powers unknown lie within the monolith. But those are no mere ruins, as an expedition has already ventured inside with only a few survivors. Why was it built? What powers reside within? Who is at the center of the monolith? All these secrets and more will be uncovered if you are brave enough to take on Imperial. Imperial features a unique blend of RPG systems and skill-based combat across 3 weapon archetypes: the acrobatic glaive, the defensive but devastating mace and shield, and the powerfully ranged cannon. With a deep ability system and extensive customization, every battle is an opportunity to refine and optimize your combat style. Form relationships with each of the few surviving expedition members who all have their own personal quest lines. Whether you choose to help or not can have drastic consequences for them. The monolith is guarded by powerful automatons, each with distinct attack patterns and weaknesses that demand precise execution and strategy to be victorious. Create your mercenary, enter the monolith, learn powerful abilities, defeat the automatons, and uncover the secrets that lie within Imperial. Imperial is available May 8th on PC, Xbox S and X, and PS5, but you can wishlist now. Do it! Wishlist Imperial. This episode's brought to you by Aura Frames. If you haven't called your mom in a while, here is your reminder to do it. But then if you want to go above and beyond, Mother's Day is coming up and I have the perfect gift idea. Aura Frames are incredibly smart and easy to use, allowing you to upload unlimited photos and videos directly from your phone to the frame. Plus, You can order the frame online and preload it with photos and videos using the Aura app, so it's ready to go right out of the box. It's a gift so special, they'll use it every day. Trust me, Gia's dad does, Greg and Kevin, and a ton of people here at Kind of Funny are obsessed with their Aura frames. It takes about 2 minutes to set up a frame using the Aura app, and I know that from experience. Aura has a great deal for Mother's Day. For a limited time, listeners can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off plus free shipping on their best-selling Carver matte frame. That's AURA frames.com. Promo code kinda funny. Support this show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, for the official, what I'm calling the official 2025 airing of Grievances / setting some new amendments for the office as well. We have, of course, the Pepperoni Pizza Diplomacy Act
Yes.
of 2020.
We call this
2019,
new one the Shared
2019.
Table Act.
We'll call this the Shared Table Act of 2025. We have
table.
ratified that.
Communal table.
One of these days, I will
Joey,
get
we
the open
got a
bathroom
name.
door policy back on the docket.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem
I-
like it's very popular.
Yeah. But we
No.
got to try it one more time.
We
We
gotta
got to
try
figure
one
it
more
out.
time.
Yeah, maybe you can bundle it in with like another more popular bill.
Oh, you want me to like
Oh,
shoehorn
okay.
it in for like, hey, we're solving a really big
well,
problem
I don't
here.
want you to shoehorn it in
It's-
personally, but
Yeah, Joe, it's one of
You have
those
to
that
co-sign
like
it.
when it's
I had to co-sign
when
on
it's
this.
on the ballot, you need to make sure you read that ballot closely because it
Yeah.
will be shoved into like a very
it's gonna
popular
be like,
one.
oh, we get nuggets every Friday at the office,
Yeah.
but then you also
Also
have to-
open door
Yes.
policy.
Yeah,
open door
it's
bathroom
gonna be
policy.
Yeah.
terrible.
So, Joey,
Yeah.
you said you have a couple of grievances that you
Yeah,
like to
I
air
do.
today.
Kevin, I put it in assets. Can you bring it up?
Oh, wow.
I have a feeling this is
Can
going
we
to be
talk about Tim's jorts?
He's just like John
Joey-
Cena.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a costume. He's
I
wearing
know,
a costume.
but the jorts are so bad.
They make me.
They're
Okay, so here's the
so
thing.
bad.
Anytime
look
Tim
quite
wears
nice.
shorts, it makes me want to throw up a little bit, and I don't know why. It's not because he looks bad in them. It's just he's got.
How can you interpret it any other way?
Poor man. This poor man.
It's just because shorts make me want to throw up. I don't know why.
It's the length of the jorts. If they were an appropriate length.
I don't think Tim's going above the knee. He's always going to go below the knee.
No,
Yeah.
Tim's other shorts are above the knee.
They got to go.
Tim,
Well, no, I
Tim
think
shorts
because this is a John Cena thing of back in the like the below the knee jorts thing.
But like
For
we
me, I
couldn't
think
have
it's the
modernized it a little bit.
I
Like
think it's
an
the proportion of
homage.
his calves.
he's got big
Poor
calves.
Jesus.
Big calves.
They're just
Oh, shit.
they're fucking haunches, you know. Like that's all I can think of when I
He's
look
got
at
some
those.
ham
Gia
hocks down
looks
there.
great.
He does
I'm
have
gonna throw
some-
that out.
What's
Her
this?
Gia looks great.
I mean, Gia and Amanda look fantastic. Yeah, everyone else. Yeah, everyone was great. Tim doesn't look bad in this. He's obviously dressed as John Cena.
Uh-huh. Just makes me
But
wanna throw up.
jorts that cut you off mid calf makes you look like you. Yeah, it's not. They're not flattering for
No.
men to wear.
I mean, jorts in general, but
Yeah.
those specific ones. I get it.
There's something about I never see Tim in a baseball cap, but like it
He's
looks
usually a beanie guy if he's gonna wear a hat, right?
yeah,
And
and
beanies are only on the days that he has to go get his hair cut. The
Yeah.
one out of
Yeah.
6 months he gets it cut.
that
supercuts.
image it looks so right on him.
Hmm.
Having the baseball hat on his head, he's just got such a
Yeah.
Can we get a zoom?
right shape for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It looks like Joey Fatoni there.
I don't.
Yeah,
I
kinda.
actually think I disagree with you. I don't. I think it's. I don't think this is the right style hat for him.
It fits his head well, though.
I think
I just
yeah.
don't like
It's like
the
curved,
curve
like,
of
yeah.
it.
He's just got that head shape. Now, Nick, at one point during one of our streams,
Oh, God.
pointed out
What did I say?
how Tim gets his fade way too high. And I've always kind of agreed with the angle at which he gets the fade done. I always wish it was a little bit lower so that it kind of went up more like that as opposed to
Well, he
like
talks about
in-
this a lot. How his head, the head shape, because it sort of it curves in this way. He
Yeah.
has a problem. He's like it's difficult for people to do the fade on it, which is why sometimes. But what I was saying during that specific piece of not criticism, feedback, I will say,
feedback.
was that I actually liked the way it looked because it was more of a hard line, and it reminded me of like kind of skater punk in the 90s look, which is kind of a fun, cool retro thing that people are doing right now. Like we used to do, I don't know if you remember this or not, Roger, because when you were negative 5 years old.
Yeah.
But back
What
in the
year?
day, you'd grow your hair out, and the skater cut would be you grow it out, and then you just hard line cut to skin here.
Oh.
And that would be like the punk rock, like that was like the precursor to the man bun now. But imagine a man bun that just kind of sits shaggy, but then you like pull it back.
You would
and
have
you'd see
long hair up and you would just
just
Was
fucking
it slicked back?
no, you
I
would
mean,
like
you could
part
s-
it down the middle usually.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
it was
okay.
it's sort of grungy skater punk.
Okay.
But Tim came in with that because he was like, oh, they messed it up. I was like, I think that actually looks really, really cool. But I tell this story all the time to people who ask,
Everybody asks.
and no one ever does. But I used to get my haircut way too high because they would start to fade, and because I'm balding, they'd hit this point, and this was the point of no return. If you go beyond this, then it starts to curve over, and then at a certain point, I'm like, you just kind of gave me a buzz cut.
I remember, I forget what podcast we were doing where you got it way too high and you were so uptight about it. You were so mad.
No, so Evan, by the way, Evan Young, who cuts some of our social stuff, he cuts his stuff and then gives it to us. Reposted that clip from the famous party mode where me and Greg shot you in Rainbow Six.
Oh, right.
Gosh, it's so funny.
And if you look at me, I look like I just have a little bit of a duck, like a little
mohawk?
bit of hair right here. Not even a mohawk. The guy, he cut my hair so short and then it started getting puffy. So he started cutting it in the back and he just left me a little wisp of hair right here. And then he kind of like combed it over and I was like, what the fuck are you doing? So finally I go to this guy, my guy Carlo that I go to, and he was like, yeah, they're just fading your head. You got to ask for a low fade.
Yeah.
Start the fade
low
right
taper
here.
fade.
It ends like right here, and then you get a little bit more hair on top. And I was like, oh, why did I not know this terminology?
Mike, are you on the TikTok algorithm where there's this one Hispanic dude who does haircuts, but he's always the people he's giving haircuts to
I know
are
exactly
clearly
who you're
not
talking
real.
about.
They're not.
They're not
acting.
walking off the street.
They are being fed lines.
Yeah.
Because every one of these people asks for a 16 guard. And he has to decline them the 16 guard. I hate it because it's like it's the
just
same
pre-canned.
sort of
Yeah.
in the issue I had about 4 years ago where it was those two guys. Did you know that this fucking video game never came out?
Yeah.
No, wait, what are you talking about?
The fake podcast.
And it was like the fake podcast sort of
I
thing.
hated that shit.
Well, it's the same thing where it's like people that aren't good at acting. And it's just a bunch of young kids
Wait,
who
you're
are like,
saying people on the internet aren't good at acting?
well, like
that's crazy.
It reminds me of like when people,
It's
do
fake.
the
It's clearly
yeah,
fake. Yeah.
And so every person is like 15-year-old kid, and they go, yeah, I'd like the 16 guard or whatever, and the guy always goes, I'll tell you what, man, I don't think it's gonna look great on you with the head shape, man. Nah, just give me the 16 guard, man. Just give me what I want. Nah, dude, trust me, you got to do this and that. He's like, all right, bro, I trust you. You trust me? Yeah, okay, I trust you, dude.
Yeah.
And then
And
it's some like
always-
slick transition.
It's always the same fucking haircut.
Yeah.
It's always
Yeah,
the
it's a
fucking
skin
broccoli cut, you know.
Yeah.
Broccoli,
but
bro.
like you could tell that everybody who goes to get a haircut, he's like, well, you gotta like decline. You gotta
gotta
ask
do
for
the
60 guard. I gotta
yeah.
decline
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
Dude,
and it's
That's such
so
a
fucking
weird niche.
annoying.
It's
Yeah,
the
that's so
equivalent
weird.
to. Do you guys get the algorithm where it's like the young guy who's going up to like hit on girls outside, and then he's like, all of a sudden he picks them up and gets their number, and then in the comments, all these young fucking idiot kids are like, dude, I want to be that good at talking
Yeah.
to him. I'm like, dude, it's fucking fake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those guys
This is
always
his friend.
They sell courses to
Yeah,
like how
exactly,
to
right?
pick up women and all that stuff. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's
dude,
like selling a
just so
supplement line.
annoying.
It's all complete and total
So
fucking
dumb.
bullshit. Don't believe anything. Listen, if you're listening to someone who makes their living by talking on the internet, just know that they are completely and totally full of
Absolutely.
shit.
No exceptions.
Having
Mike,
said
what are
all
the
that-
grievances you want to air?
I got one about Roger.
Yeah.
No,
course you do.
no,
No,
you
you
didn't
don't
have this before the show. You're mad at Roger now for the bagel thing, and now you got a grievance with him. I'm gonna veto your grievance. I don't think you're allowed
I
to
would
say
be
it.
interested in hearing it.
All right,
I was
so
what
Joey
I-
will allow.
Real quick, what I was hoping the grievance
Yeah.
would be from Mike with this morning I brought Roger a bagel.
Mike, what's your grievance with Roger?
Say it.
I got to talk about Roger's high fives.
Oh, they're pretty weak.
Can I talk about Roger's high
Yeah,
fives?
you
Don't
can't
turn on
actually.
me.
Mike.
Don't turn on me.
Mike, this is a good
Nick,
one.
Nick.
This is a good one.
I love Nick just lying and bullshit. They're pretty weak.
They're weak.
Thank you.
Like, watch. Come here, Mike.
Thank
Here's what it's
you.
supposed to sound
Give
like.
it to
Ready?
him.
Let's see if we can do it right. No,
No, that sucked.
Nope.
Yeah.
There it is.
Okay, well, can I defend myself?
Yeah.
It's because Mike assaults me every time he does a, every
My
time
hand
he
hurts
does
so
a high
much.
five. It becomes violent.
It is true, it is true.
It is. You're trying to inflict pain. You are not trying to do a high
wants
five.
to make you
you
more
are
of a
trying to
man.
hurt me.
He wants to toughen you up.
Here's the problem: is I've hurt Roger too many times.
in every way.
Now,
It's like a
Roger,
self-grievance.
now Roger comes at me with these high fives where we start the day and he puts it down here.
This
Just
is where
because I
Roger's
don't
high
wa-
five starts.
I don't want you to
High
touch
Wait,
me.
level.
what am I supposed to do?
Eye level.
Why is it, it's got to be up here, bro, right? And
Yeah,
he
you're
puts
starting off the day badly
he
like
puts
that.
it down here,
Why-
and I'm like, what do you want me to get in there? Like,
Yeah.
how do you want me to attack this? And I think it's because he knows that I'm coming down with such force.
Yeah.
He wants to do one of these.
He
on me
puts it
real
in a
quick.
spot that makes it
Look at
like
how red my hand is.
I'm
so
just
bad.
letting him know. It's like I can't be coming down here. You know what I mean? You got to meet.
Oh my
You got to
God.
meet up here. That's my grievance.
Roger,
that's a
Do you
great
have a
grievance.
that's a
rebuttal?
great grievance. You need to work on that.
Yeah, do you have a rebuttal?
Okay, my rebuttal is that I was meeting him for years at the place where he wanted me to, and then I now go with the bottom so then I can pull away if he's coming with energy. Because sometimes he
Oh,
goes
so this is
down.
self-preservation.
Yes, it is a thing where he's going down and he is trying to spike that
he's trying to
volleyball.
get
That
down.
is what's happening.
He's
You're
trying to finish the game.
You are trying to hurt me. You're like, oh no, you took my bagel. Fuck you. I'm gonna hurt you right now.
Roger's now a skittish cat.
Washburn in the chat says some people don't enjoy being literally nuzzled up against, and Mike has a difficult time understanding that. So Joey had a
Joey, what's your grievance?
grievance
Yeah.
for
Oh
me.
no, that was Tim. No,
That's
just
it?
the jorts.
About
Oh,
Tim and
Roger.
Oh,
Joe.
the jorts. Okay.
I have one about Andy, and I'm sorry.
Let's get after him.
I'm genuine about this one.
Okay. Oh.
Oh,
You
wow.
gotta stop leaving your cans around. You gotta throw away
Not
your
the cans.
Brody, you gotta do it. Because every time you leave, I'm walking around, I'm like, why is there a Ghost Energy open? Why is there one in the lab? Why is there one somehow like by the fucking Keurig? You don't go there. How is that possible?
Andy's
Not
just
that
a little-
I did. I also left my Baja Blast Zero near the printer
Yes.
on Friday,
Yes.
and as I was leaving in my car, I remembered it. I was like, "It's too late.
Can't possibly go back. Couldn't possibly go back to
I'm
get
so
that.
far away, Nick. I'm in the gate.
Second you leave the gate.
Andy,
I'm in it, you
I
know?
looked at the contract and I was like, "Is this your Baja Blast?" It looks like your Baja Blast. It's next to your
Okay.
Kentucky Fried Chicken. Are you sure it's not your Baja Blast?
In my defense, that's how I mix the drinks.
What?
So like
Do you
I'm
just leave half drink cans all over
They're
your
more than
apartment?
half.
all the time, all the time.
Way more than half.
But in my
I'd be
defense,
buried in
I'll
here.
have like my Red Ghost Energy that I drink maybe a third of that day, and then I'll have like a Monster from 2 days ago. I mix them,
no.
and you have extra
And they're
energy,
open?
2 days ago.
extra taste.
2 days ago.
And they're open.
Not even 2. Oh, the 2 days is generous.
It's like opening up a bottle of wine, you know? You're just getting
Exactly.
it air. You get a
You
little
get the
But
air.
air
there's,
back.
there's,
Gotta air
there's
it.
no way to
let it
close an
breathe.
open can. Like, we give you shit for the Mountain Dew, but, like, at least that has a cap. Like,
Yeah.
it must be insanely flat.
Okay, but what's
I see Nick just twitching, like trying to hold it in.
I'll reserve my statements for the end.
I
Your
just
Honor.
want everyone to know I love that Andy brings up leaving his Baja Blast by the printer because a couple weeks ago I filled up my water jug, right? I filled up this cup full of water, and then I left work and I was like, I don't know where that is. That could be next to a very expensive computer. We gotta let it ride.
gotta let it ride,
I just drove.
It's not that, again, to clarify, it's not that Andy leaves the cans around. It's that he leaves them around and then they start to like cool down and then they start to have a musk to
Yes.
them, right? And it's not an unpleasant smell,
No.
but it is an unnatural smell, you know? Like I'm not normally used to smelling like fucking
berry chemical?
berry chemical as I walk past the desk and to be fair, I'm fine with Andy's desk because that's what it smells like normally. It is when you go into the bathroom, you're like, where is it? Where is the can in this bathroom?
I've
Why
never
is
left it in the
here?
bathroom.
I'm just saying.
I would
it's
never take a drink to the bathroom.
No, that's why it's next to the printer.
Yeah, that's why I
Yes.
left it at the printer.
That makes a lot of sense.
Roger got mad at me once for throwing a Frappuccino bottle in the bathroom.
You threw out a Frappuccino
Yeah, because in our bathroom, pretty much like in the trash is just all of our paper
Paper
towels.
towels.
That's it. Like that's literally it.
Yes.
And then
'Cause
I
what
just
else
and
are
then
you
I go in the
throwing away in the
bathroom, I open it
bathroom?
up, and there's just one Frappuccino bottle.
Who could this have been?
First off, who drinks Frappuccinos in 2025?
Mike,
God,
he goes
that's so
across the
great,
street.
Mike.
He gets his third Frappuccino of the day. Yeah, he's got
And
some more
there's
Charlie.
nothing wrong with
But
that, Mike.
What I assume Mike's rationale to be is that's the closest trash can to his desk.
Close
But-
trash can.
But it is
No,
wild.
this was before. This is before he moved. There's no rationale.
Timelines don't line up.
You guys are the best.
Gotta figure it out, guys.
This was good.
What other grievances? I mean, like,
Well, Greg's not here, and I feel
A
like
lot.
But I feel like the last episode we did was mostly just shitting on Greg. So I think we got all those grievances out last year.
I don't think I was here for that
Were
one.
you not? Do you have anything issue Greg has? He's been really crushing it with the whole
He's
Money
kind
in
of
the
you've
Bank
been off
shit,
the
Stars in
hook
the Bank.
though. I feel like
I've been off the hook, so I have no.
because he's put so much focus on Greg or on Tim.
Yeah, I don't really want to come at him with anything, but like, did I secretly hope that there was a Kind of Funny podcast that we could all be on at the same time so we can make fun of him going on spring break? Yeah, I did. What do you mean? What the fuck do you mean spring break? What are you doing on spring break? Why are you getting a spring break?
I mean,
We had a Christmas vacation 3 months ago. Why are you getting a spring break? You just take a week off because your son's out of school?
yeah, I think that's 100%.
That's insane.
Andy,
That's insane.
I think
That is
that you
hilarious.
got to look at this the other way, and I tell you this once a year. Of like, we have unlimited paid time off. You got to start using it. Take a spring break.
Cloud 9000 in the chat says,
You know?
this ain't college, bro.
That's insane. What are you doing?
It is.
You go to fucking Panama Beach? What are you doing?
I think it's even crazier because I don't think they went anywhere. I think he just
They
took
did.
it off.
No, they went to Chicago.
That's
Chicago.
right, that's
Yeah,
right.
he did things.
They went
Okay,
to
that
Chicago.
makes sense.
I'm not even sure he wanted to go to Chicago.
No.
It was like
I
a
don't
family
think-
trip. I think he was like, I got to go see the family for Chicago, and so he
did
took
the
spring
show,
break
too.
off. But I don't. But he didn't even like. This is the thing about spring break for me, right? Is that
Tell me the thing.
first off, Greg's an amazing dad.
yes,
Like,
absolutely.
all
We love
kidding
him.
aside,
Great guy.
whenever he can spend time with his kid, he goes out of his way to try to do that.
Yeah.
And that's
Beautiful.
awesome because, of course, I come from a generation where I don't like,
Those are the
there would be
formative
times where
years.
I think my dad would walk in and reintroduce himself to me. That's
Yes.
like how little my dad was in my life. Again, Lou Scarpino, great guy, great father, love him. But that generation of father was
Totally.
come home at 7 or leave for work at like 4, come home at like 5, 6, 7.
The
Whatever.
generation that prides themselves on not taking days off ever.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
that literally like wears that as a badge of honor.
That was the
Yeah.
and my dad. Hello, Nicholas. Good to
Yeah.
see you. I hope your school's good.
Yeah.
And then he'd go up, maybe eat dinner with us, and go back up to the office and work more because he wanted to provide for the family. Again,
Yeah.
I'm not complaining about that, but that's one way to do it. Greg, I think, is a phenomenal dad. Takes every moment to go teach the kid how to swim, do the spring break, all that stuff. But I do think to myself, I'm like, I don't think I ever took spring break off. And even when I had spring break off when I was a kid, because people like travel and shit for it, I'm like,
No.
I would just sit at home in Riverside
Watch
and
TV.
eat and watch TV. That was my I would wait for my mom to have to go run an errand, and my brother and I would run upstairs and crank the fucking air conditioning down because my mother was always so uptight about the fucking electric bill.
Oh, now we know where it comes from.
Oh my god, yes, dude. Oh my god, yes. So that traumatized me,
We're
obviously. Now I'm like,
learning,
me and
learning.
First off, whoa.
No, you're
Whoa.
also no. You're the good dad because Mike over here comes on weekends and blasts the AC and he barely gets shit. So
I
you know
sit
what I
in
mean?
here
We
and I turn
also
on.
we need to have a airing of grievances for the temperature control in this.
We
All
need
right.
to,
Oh my
there,
god.
There
Oh
is
my god.
No, we've sorted it. We've
eating?
sorted it. Let's
But,
leave
no,
it.
but- no,
Mike comes
Kevin,
in
it's
with a
not
mouthful
that.
of
We
something.
sorted out the technicalities of it, and shout out to Kevin for
No,
figuring
this
that
is just personal.
This
preference.
is
my
the
God.
war. This is the civil war that is happening in this office.
Before we get too into it, I do want to say I would have laughed and been a lot more annoyed by it if Greg was just off for the week. I wouldn't have said anything, but it said Greg off spring break. I was like,
Right.
what?
Like, what are you gonna party? Are you gonna party with your frat brothers in Florida? What are you doing?
If it was just off, I wouldn't have said a goddamn thing. But I
No.
saw spring break. I was like, the fuck? We don't get spring break off.
Yeah, that's so funny.
All right, Mike.
Kevin, do me
Temperature.
a favor. Will you quickly look up the temperature of San Francisco right now,
Oh,
please?
Jesus.
Okay, so here's the deal, everybody.
You're not on camera.
Last week I'm walking in.
We can see a shadow.
Yeah, don't worry. They know I'm here.
We can-
Okay,
we
they
can
know
feel
the
the
vibe.
shadow.
Last week I walk in. Roger's got the thermostat set to what? 76 degrees.
Didn't touch it
at
once.
9:30 in the
Insane.
Okay,
Not
I
true.
didn't know
Did
we were
not
baking
touch it
a
once.
sauna
Insane.
in here,
That is
right?
not a real
So
thing.
here's
Did not
the
touch
deal.
it.
That's a lie.
We're trying to get a human in here, Mike.
61 degrees.
Not touch
Andy,
it.
there's a moisture going on in this building now. And so here's the deal.
What does that mean?
I walk in because it's so hot. We're creating.
It's 60 degrees outside. That's cold. That is cold by anyone's standards.
Not-
60
not-
degrees outside is you have to
cool.
put a little bit of a coat on to
And
leave
so
outside.
there I
Maybe a
go. I
little bit of a
walk in
hoodie.
on Monday, Andy, and on Monday, there's no windows. You
No
what I mean?
windows.
There's no
in this room.
windows.
No
So
windows.
There's just a built-up heat, right? And so what I like to do is I'll say, hey, let's cool down a little bit. Okay, it's
Yeah.
71
Yeah,
degrees.
I know.
Let's just take it down.
It's sunny, it's
Let's
bacon,
just- It's
yeah.
68. Let's just get to 68, right? Sure shit. Roger walks in. First thing he does, beep, boop, bop, beep,
Yeah,
bop.
yeah.
Now let's take this thing up to 75.
Yeah, that's me.
Again,
Roger!
I
It's
want
not
to.
that hot.
Again, I want to point out that like there's. I'll just say this, guys, and I'm not a scientist. Kevin, am I a scientist?
No.
There he is. There he is. What's he stuffing his face with?
I have 3 hours of streaming after this. I need to eat at some point. I can't eat in the room. You guys get mad.
He hates so badly.
And the
I didn't even see him. I just kind of felt it. I'm not a scientist, right? But I do know that there's two ways to regulate your body temperature.
Yeah.
Okay. You can have an outside source cooling you off via an HVAC system, HVAC system, right? Or you can choose to wear more clothes or less clothes. And of course, that particular methodology only has a certain amount of like leeway, right? You can't get colder by just taking off more and more clothes. At a certain point, there's a threshold where you have to stop, right?
Yes.
But I did walk in today, and I saw Mike in a sleeveless shirt.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you so much.
I see Mike in a sleeveless shirt.
Thank you for touching.
Get on camera, brother. Right?
So
And
As
so,
soon as he got off of Games Daily, he took off his.
It's so hot. It's like a player coming out of the NBA. Like,
John, you were
right?
I'm walking through this goddamn
And
desert like Roger, you
and
gotta
I go, Mike. I go, oh, you're finally like wearing something that's going to allow you to be a little bit like cooler in the office, so that the rest of us don't have to put the fucking air conditioning on and freeze to death, right? And he goes, absolutely, Slappy. That I'm wearing this sleeveless shirt, and I cool. I turn back around, he's putting on another shirt that is long sleeve, and he's wearing windbreaker pants. Windbreaker pants don't breathe; they just suck in the moisture and the hotness. Wear cotton. For once, for Christ's sake, in your life.
I love that you all think you have thermostat issues worked out. That's great that you all think that.
We don't.
That you all think that.
We don't have it worked
There's a
out at
rift
all.
in the office right now.
Because-
It's going to tear this company
Because
apart.
last week there was a moment
It's literally just
where I
2
think
against 9.
I think it was maybe Mike was
Hot
having
versus
his
the
way
colds.
with maybe Mike was having his way with the thermostat, and Mike and Kevin get the sweatiest, and Nick walks in the room and goes, should I make it a bit warmer, or should I stop drinking a cold drink?
That's my question that I asked.
that's a great question. It's a great question.
Or
I
is
had
it you were like, or is it because I'm drinking like this drink with ice in it?
Okay, as you guys
Fair
know,
question.
there's been two things that people have talked about a lot. Well, a lot of things people talk about me, specifically my idiosyncrasies. But number one is I have to pee all the time. And by the way, oh boy, do I have to pee right now.
Yeah.
Boy, I'm feeling
Gotta
it.
wrap
But
this
this
up.
conversation is so good that we're
Yeah.
staying in the moment. I don't care if it causes a bladder issue for me later down the line. But I do drink a lot of iced beverages, specifically coffee, and it makes me really, really cold. And so I got to a point where I'm going to check with my litness, my benchmark for this, the closest analog to me, Roger. And I look over at Roger, who's on the other side of the office, which is a different temperature zone over
Yeah.
there because you're by the roll door.
Yeah.
And I go, Roger, how are we feeling temperature-wise? And if Roger says we're good, then I put on a coat. If Roger says it's too cold in here, then I know, okay, the average, I got to turn this up right now. That's what I'll say. But I walked around and I looked outside and it was like, I'm like, it looks like it's about 55 to 60 degrees outside, which is just pretty cold. And then I look over and I'm like, and I hear the I hear the HVAC system. And I'm assuming it's the heat, right? Because it's 55 fucking degrees outside. I can see a little bit, like I looked out, I was like, I think that's a little bit of a snowflake. Yeah, it's about to hit the ground. I think the air outside is so cold,
So
Nick can
frigid.
see
that it's
temperature?
that one little thing is gonna hit the ground. And I look over and I see Mike's not anywhere to be seen. So I was like, okay, clearly it's the heat on. And then I put my hand underneath the vent, ice cold air pumping onto Mike's desk. And I'm like, Roger, is the fucking air conditioning on right now? And Roger just did exactly what he's doing right now,
Yeah.
rubbing his head and
Yep.
shaking it.
Shaking
I don't know
it.
what's happening.
I can't do this anymore.
I'm always kind of in between everybody with the
Are you
temperature
eating a fucking quesadilla right now?
He's eating a
The one you're
quesadilla.
gonna
Don't
split
judge.
with me?
He's
Then
on
me
lunch.
talking about you splitting with me got you hungry.
Kevin going, don't do it with food. Now, I'm always kind of in between with the weather, with the temperature stuff. But then the other day, I think they wanted it. Everybody was like, yeah, we should make it warmer. It's cold in here. And Blessing was like, oh, yeah, I love it. I want it to be hotter.
Yeah.
And like, I swear to God, most of this office, including Blessing and Roger and Nick, everybody is like my 60-year-old mother, where it's just like, if it is above 71 or if it's under 71, it's the coldest, most frigid environment on the planet. and we need to just wear more clothing if you're that cold when it's like 71 on the thermostat.
I bring a coat in my car, and I have my hoodie on right now, and I got a shirt underneath the hoodie. I am ready for this Arctic winter that we have to have. Okay.
I'm getting ready to bring my blanket back. That I took home.
I am ready for whatever anyone, because obviously, look, I run cold. I drink the cold. I'm not going to try to submit. I don't want you guys dehydrating yourselves because I'm freezing and I'm stupid and I drink the drinks. But I do think that I'm not being, because it's too hot out. You put the heat on.
Gotcha.
Everyone's like, Mike's like, I'm dying.
Yeah.
Like he's a fucking snail that someone just poured salt onto.
Yeah.
But there is some common ground that we have to have.
Yes.
And that is if it needs to be about 70 to 71 degrees in here to be comfortable, I think.
Yeah.
That's
not the line Sanders says, yes, just bring a hoodie if you get cold all the time. You don't understand that 9/11 of this office lives in jackets.
Yes.
Because we're cold all the time.
And there's 11 employees that work here, 11 full-time people that work in this office. 9 of us are just always a little bit uncomfortable. And then one of us is always uncomfortable. Depending on, it doesn't matter. He's never happy. He's never happy with the temperature. And I'm not going to name names.
But you can
he
hear
just
the
had a
windbreaker
quesadilla.
And the heavy breathing.
You can hear him swish-swashing it as he
Let's
comes
just
over
go
to us.
69.
Let's just turn it off. Let's just turn it off.
69.
Let's just turn it off. Let's just turn off the auto regulation.
Tim Geddes-
And then if we come in and we're fucking hot, let's make it lower. If it's lower, whatever. Let's just fucking do it. Game time decision.
Look,
It's a trick. He's tricking us.
You know what I mean? The auto correction and everything. It's not helping.
It's not correcting.
It's not correcting.
Correcting.
Okay,
It's off automatically.
don't blame the automation. I just went in there and cleaned it up. It's working much
there was
better.
a moment where Kevin and I were like, why does it keep doing this?
Yeah.
And it turned out that our thermostat has a little bit of AI in it, and it had gone rogue. It was like trying to teach it. It was like,
No,
I'm learning
Roger
from you.
broke it because he kept turning it up to like
Don't
74.
put this on me, Kevin.
Roger
Do not
broke
put
your
this on me, Kevin.
On the YouTube, you
Do
keep
not put
clicking.
this on me,
knows
Kevin.
you like it warm. Yeah.
Yeah, Roger likes it warm.
It's like we'll put it at 74, but it's a warm 74.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was it for your most recent episode of the airing of Grievances
Lot of
here on the
topics.
Kind of Funny podcast. I love
I
these.
just want to
Zero.
save my topic for next time.
These are always the ones that Greg listens to on the ride home,
Yeah.
and it was like, you guys did a great job. on that. Just pick it up. We didn't pick on Greg enough, but we'll do that
Yeah,
when he
we're
gets
sorry
back
about your
later.
spring
I'm
break.
Spring Break Miller.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you are watching this pre-recorded and you're watching on YouTube, please leave a comment. Let us know what other grievances you might have with my eating or drinking habits. And if you guys are watching live right now, hey, stay tuned because me and Mike are going to go into a special sponsored stream where we play some Alan Wake 2. It's going to be super fun. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, it has been our pleasure to serve you.